going on, guys? Cruising with Cruz here. Yesterday we got some big news involving Dale Jr. and his iconic number 8. No, not the typical font that they're running in Junior Motorsports or the RCR current font. No, it's this iconic one right here, the infamous 8 that he used to run from his 98. Well, technically, yeah, he first ran it in 99 all the way up to 2007. And yeah, I was at work yesterday when I heard the news, and I was just like, well, first, the way I got the news was like I saw the post on Jayskis, the I like it as my hub of NASCAR news and whatnot. And yeah, when I saw the scheme, I was like, no way. And sure enough, I guess he did. And I watched a little bit of his Dale Jr. download episode from yesterday. In regards to that number and I guess the trademark, so I'm gonna kind of dissect the video right now, get more in-depth information of it. I'm not gonna show the video. If you guys want, I'm gonna leave the link in the description so you guys can see said video or the podcast, because yeah, it's essentially his podcast episode talking about it. My initial reaction before I start playing the video, I was just in awe. I was like, no way. And ironically too, I know there's like a big old conspiracy theory with the whole number 22. So the fact that he dropped it on the 22nd was very significant for me in many ways. Most of my viewers that are watching this, or I guess my friends that are watching this, will understand why the 22nd is so significant to me. And so the fact that they dropped it on the 22nd, yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, let's just get right into it and watch. I'm not gonna show it because I don't want to get striked. But yeah, let's watch this.
About our Bud deal, and we're going to talk to the winner of the Vegas race. Joey Logano's calling in. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it all the way until Joey Logano's in, because I'm not a Logano fan personally, but I do want to know more about this. So.
Hey everybody, it's Dale Jr. and we're back in the studio here at Dirty Mo Media for the Dale Jr. Download. It is Tuesday, and I'm in here with Andrew, Dalton, and Tim's. No team.
Also, before we continue on, please like, subscribe to the channel if you want more NASCAR related content and other content that I'm gonna be posting here on the channel. Yeah, I'm gonna try to post things on the regular right now. Even though I'm drop dead tired, I was actually gonna try to do this video yesterday, but I had such a long day with work and all that, and I was like, okay, I can at least do it today. So, but yeah, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, let's continue on.
TJ, no Amy. Amy here the first of every month. But TJ was here last week, not here this week. We got some big news. I wish he was here to talk about it. It'd be kind of nice to hear TJ's take. Get his. He's always got some good, honest, hard takes on
He
things.
does.
I always count on him for that.
TJ, the TJ he's talking about is his
I
former
do too.
spotter, TJ Mayer.
God, you
I hope
no
people
one-
know it was a joke.
No one will know how hard everyone worked to get the video to actually see the light of day.
For that dumb video. But it was so good.
Yeah, but
Hilarious.
So anyhow, if you haven't seen that clip, we were picking on TJ a little bit. You can go watch it. I think posted a couple days ago on Dirty Mo Media. Pretty funny. But we got some big news to share. Obviously, at 8 o'clock this morning, we announced a collaboration with our old friends at Budweiser.
I find it funny that he said
And,
at 8 o'clock.
As everybody knows, I love racing at Florence Motor Speedway. There's a couple events that happen throughout the year. One of them being the South Carolina 400. I believe this year it's a 250-lap late model stock race. The other 150 laps will make up the other local events and heat races and so forth. So it's 400 laps of racing, but the late model stock portion is 250 laps. I couldn't be more excited about the length of that race. I love the long late model stock events, and the Florence Motor Speedways are old.
One thing I like about Junior nowadays is like the fact that he's like getting back into his roots of racing, so like late model stock car racing. For those of you that don't know about Dale Jr. right now he's I think he's contracted to be broadcasting with Amazon, either Amazon or CW, one of the two, next year. But he also co-owns the Cars Tour Series, which is a late model stock car racing series.
Actual trademark of the
But
number.
anywho.
Coming up for grabs. Everybody knows, I think, at this point that we've applied for it. It's a process that takes a little bit of time that is playing out right now. But we reached out to Bud and said, man, if we're ever going to do, I announced that I wasn't going to race in the Xfinity Series next year, and going to kind of focus more on what we're doing with the Cars Tour in terms of motorsports. What I want to do is race the late model stock car a little bit and focus on my job as a broadcaster, which kicks back off next year. So I'll be broadcasting the bulk of the summer races in June and July. So
he's got the Amazon deal. That's right.
First half of the year, maybe again near the back half of 2025. But we have this last race remaining in the year at Florence, and so we actually was thinking about not running the race. And we called Bud and I said, man, if we're going to do this, we got an opportunity to do something really cool. And we had some great conversations, and a lot of the people that used to work there when I was familiar with the brand or in constant communication with the brand back 20 years ago are obviously probably no longer working there. I know several of them that we stayed in touch with over the years. There's a new group of folks but they all understand the history of the 8 car, the red Bud car. They all are excited about this opportunity, which was really nice. They understand kind of. I've always felt like that. No matter what, I was always going to be Team Bud.
I like that he says that too, because you'll see later down in the interview or in this episode, because I saw a short of it where he mentioned that Budweiser on his final season running full-time Cup, they did a commercial dedicated to Dale Jr. and I guess apparently they did it like out of their own pocket. He had nothing to do with it. It was just like their salute and farewell to thanks for a really great Cup career. We wish you the best in your future endeavors. So I find it funny that he still has contact with like some peeps at Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, and the fact that that's the one thing I was learning too, is I guess I don't know if Teresa didn't want to pay the trademarks for it anymore for that specific, because the 8 was available. I mean, I don't know if you guys keep up with the Cup side, but RCR runs the number 8 in the Cup series, but the difference is he technically can't run the font that we're all used to seeing, like this number right here, because Teresa, which is Dale Earnhardt's significant or wife, she held the trademarks to not only the number 8 but the number 1 and the 15. And reason why she held on to that was because I mean it was, I just don't know. I mean, there's a video out on YouTube. I'm actually gonna try to find that video and leave the link in the description about how Teresa kind of just held on to those trademarks for those numbers in particular, because I don't know if you guys remember, but I think it was either last year or the year before, Trackhouse was running the throwback Coca-Cola schemes where both Junior and his dad ran at Twin Ring Motegi when they had the exhibition race out there on the oval. And since Trackhouse has the number 1, they used the number 1 in that same font. But Teresa didn't like that because it was a trademark of that font. Trackhouse had to do something different with the numbers, so essentially they did their iconic little slash that they do on their font numbers that they typically run on their cars. So that kind of sucked, but that's one thing I'm now wondering is, like, since now that trademark is up, I don't know if Junior only wanted the number 8 or if he got the trademarks to the number 1 and the 15, because I think that would be pretty cool that he did get that, because he does run the number 1 in his Xfinity team. So if he's able to get those fonts for the other 2 numbers, the 1 and the 15, I think it would be cool for him to implement those numbers in his Xfinity series. Because I mean, me personally, I know a lot of us like millennial diehard fans that grew up watching Junior. This number, that font style was like what caught everyone's attention. And I was actually reading some of the comments on this podcast, and how a lot of people kind of just broke away from the sport once he had to leave that, because essentially what happened too was when he had his or when he was going to Hendrick Motorsports, he tried to bring that number with him, but Teresa wouldn't let him take it. So that's why he had to run this 88. And it sucked, you know. Because me personally, I do remember that and how like his number like I remember how big that was back in the day. How like he just dropped the bomb. He's like, "Yep, I'm leaving DEI to go race for Hendrick Motorsports," you know. But the fact that he couldn't take that number 8, I think that's what sucked. You know, especially since that number is just so iconic with him. You know, Dale Jr. and that number 8 are just, you know, they go hand in hand. You know, and I think that's what sucks nowadays with the sport of NASCAR is like, you know, those like numbers like that that are with drivers and synonymous with drivers, they're not like that anymore, you know? Like, for example, Jeff Gordon in the 24, those go hand in hand. Jimmy Johnson in the 48, you know, the King Richard Petty, 43, you know? I can go as deep as, like, you know, Rusty Wallace with the number 2, Terry Labonte in the number 5. Another good pairing of the number, the 88, Dale Jarrett, that was one that sticks out, you know? And that's the thing that, like, I felt that the sport was kind of dying down on, but now I feel like I'm getting off topic. Let's just continue watching this, and I'm like, I'll give you like my full like take on this.
Right. For what Budweiser did for me when I was starting my Cup career, I just owe them such a debt of gratitude, and so I was always going to be Team Bud, and they've been a company that has traditionally maintained great relationships with a lot of their ambassadors over the years, right? And I know Kenny Schrader that used to drive the Bud cars still continues to have a really good relationship with Anheuser-Busch and Bud and InBev, I guess, these days. But
Harvick too.
I really always felt like, one of the things that made me feel that way too was when I announced my retirement from Cup racing, the commercial they made, right, with Lord Huron, and I'm a big Lord Huron fan, right? When I got my concussion in 2012, one of the things my doctor told me to do was go to a concert. That's the concert I went to. We were talking about that last week. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, and so it was in Milwaukee, and so they made that commercial out of their own pocket. Right, and there were some complications and challenges around that commercial, dealing with the trademark of the 8. Right, couldn't really show that. You could tell, but they still went ahead and made this sort of little tip of the cap that they didn't have to do. And
I thought that was pretty cool. I really
made
enjoyed that
me,
commercial.
Feel great about the way I felt about them, right? That loyalty and that partnership, and so I always wondered if we would ever do something again. And so here we are with an opportunity to
full circle. That's
put
so
the 8
crazy,
back
dude.
on a race car.
Full circle. Both Budweiser and the number
bring
8.
back
That's
that
fucking
iconic,
cool.
Paint scheme, and obviously take it to a racetrack that I really love and want to support. Steve Zacharias and his family, Jacqueline, everybody at Florence has been amazing. Trying to continue to have that racetrack serving its community and being a place for people to come have a fun time on the weekends. And so I'm looking forward to it. I've seen the car, and I've seen the gang upstairs in Junior Motorsports designing some merch. We talked about putting out a couple pieces, so that'll be.
Yeah, I've seen some of the merch.
available
I'm
to
actually
anyone who
gonna
might
buy
want to have
a
it
shirt
shown
and
off.
most likely a
Andrew
die-cast.
has a shirt on today.
Yeah, the shirt that he's wearing, that's the
And
one I'm
so,
getting.
that stuff has been meticulously
it's so
sort
cool.
of,
That's
crafted
so
and
friggin' cool.
designed. I have some people that work at Junior Motorsports that I have 100% trust in to be able to put together some nice merch for folks that want it. And I can't wait to see the diecast. I'm a massive diecast fan, especially having worked with Lionel to develop the.
I should show off my
mold for the
old
Lane All
diecast
stock cars,
collection.
so
I
that
should probably do a
myself
video on
and the
that.
racers that run this car could have.
Gotta find that.
Have their own car designed and produced by Lionel, and so it'll be cool to have that in my case. I got 2 cases at home that are about full, and so I don't know, man. There's a bunch about this to be excited about. I know that it's gonna pull on. I know it's gonna be great nostalgia for a lot of folks.
It is.
I know it will hopefully draw a lot of folks to the racetrack in Florence before Thanksgiving to see the race in person. Some may be seeing a late model stock race for the very first time.
If I'm actually gonna try to make an effort for that. I'm not gonna 100% guarantee, just given the fact that I work.
Atmosphere that I
But
love
I'll
so
try.
much. You may have been to those kind of races in the past and just kind of gotten disconnected or separated. And so it'll be cool, I think, to have people reminded of why this is fun, why it's fun to go to your local track, why it's fun to be a part of whatever's going on there. On the other side, it'll be streamed on Flow. I hope it'll get great numbers for Flow. And
Worst case scenario, I'll probably watch it
partners
via the stream.
like Flow are so critical to the success of grassroots racing, the success of these racetracks like Florence, Langley, all the racetracks that the Cars Tour goes to. Flow, the streaming partner like Flow, is extremely critical to the success and future of Cars Tour. So I mean, getting their numbers up and getting people to see how easy it is to access this content and watch these races live is because I think there's a ton of people out there that would love to watch them and just don't know how or where it's at, right?
Mhm.
So I hope this program will check so many damn boxes, and and we've talked about possibly doing another event next year. We don't know exactly where that might be. The Cars Tour is still kind of rummaging through their closet to put their schedule together, and we're in conversations about that and what that schedule looks like. I want to run strictly Cars Tour events next year, and as my calendar has always kind of been anywhere from 3 to 5 events, so somewhere between 3 to 5 events, and the Cars Tour is what I'm going to try to do next year. Again, at the start of the year and toward the back end of the year, but we're hopeful that we'll have another opportunity to drive the Bud brand around the racetrack next year.
That'd be so cool.
So pretty exciting, and I'm really shocked that we were able to keep this
A secret.
such a good secret.
Seriously, dude, they did a good job with that.
With how diligent our media is in motorsports, and Gluck and Weaver and all those guys, Bob Pockris, they're all so extremely. Jordan Bianchi, he'd be upset if I forget his name or I left him off that list. But they're just really great at digging up all the crumbs and piecing it together. And so I was thankful that we were able to announce this and everybody could learn this all at the same time. We had a little fun teasing it a little bit on social media with
Yes.
the photos. So that photo of the big giant can, I remember we were at the shoot that day. This is probably 2004-ish. And we were I had those cans, and we were doing a shoot where I'm holding the can toward the camera, and I went over to the guy and I said, "Man, can you make this can giant and make me really small, and I'll kind of look like I'm looking up at the can, and then you can take a picture and post." It was a piece of cake, right, to edit and put that together. But I remember doing that, thinking it was so funny. And
So that was your idea.
yeah, and they never were going to use it anywhere, but we were just kind of goofing around in between.
I gotta look for this
the
now.
real work. And I always saved that and kept that on my phone. We even had him doctor the ounces on the can from like 24 ounces to 2,400. And so, but I save all of that stuff. I have folders and folders of all kinds of photo shoot content and pictures that we took back then. And anyhow, it's thankful to have that stuff, because in moments like this, it's kind of fun using it in some of the teas that the PR team put together. They put together this little program over the last 12 or 24 hours of how we roll this out. And we change you change your avatar and your background image and all
Everyone's
those
like, "What's
things.
going
Yeah,
on?"
and then Bud's Tony Jr. changed his. I didn't even know I don't know if he did.
Oh.
That. Yeah, Tony Jr. changed his background image on his Facebook to one of the Bud cars going around the wall at its homestead, and I don't know if that was intentional or just by chance, coincidence. I don't know, but and we have a guest tomorrow.
Yes.
Tony Sr. So Tony Sr. I know we've had Tony Jr. and Tony Sr. on the show, but I don't believe that I've ever really been able to sit down with just Tony Sr. Right?
This is the
And-
first time on the show.
Right, and go. I have. I'm really excited about that because, I've never really. He's not a guy that wants. He is not a guy that is going to sit down with you, and tell you about his life. Right, and he's never going to give you the opportunity to sort of dig into that any of that real history, and so he won't have anywhere to run and hide when he comes in here tomorrow. We're gonna dig into his story, and how it relates to my dad, and obviously we'll try our hardest to go through that whole process. But he raced himself. He won races in dirt cars as a driver at Metrolina and other places. His father raced a lot.
I think this
on
is.
dirt.
I think he's kind of done
against
talking
Ralph
about the air
Earnhardt.
now. I just want to make
And
sure
that's how
before
I think the Uri
I break
families
down.
got to know each other. And so him and Dad married sisters, my mother and her sister, and so Sandra was her name. And that's Tony Jr.'s mom and Robert G. So that's how. And I remember going. I used to go with Dad to the.
Okay. I think he's done talking about it. But anywho, so yeah, that is insane. So the fact that Budweiser was on board and like that, like I just said earlier in the video, I just find it cool that it's just all full circle. You know, he finally is able to race his iconic, not only his iconic number, but like an iconic sponsor that he had for such a long time, you know. And like I said earlier, you know, it's a number that was just synonymous with him. Like, it's just like Budweiser and that number 8. Like, when you see that, you know, I just read a comment right now. It's like, you know, just like the black and the number 3 is just so iconic. It's like the red and the number 8 is just so iconic, you know. And it's true, you know. And dang, this car looks really, really good. I'm looking at the images right now, and it's just incredible. Here, let me see if I can pop it up here real quick. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, here it is, the number 8, and it looks good. This car looks really, really good. I like that. I'm guessing he doesn't. So I think the only trademark that was just available was just the number. I don't know, again, plural numbers, because like I said earlier, the 1 and the 15. But I noticed like with the stripes, I don't think he could have done the exact like, you know, E stripes because, you know, Earnhardt Incorporated. But I mean, I like how his team literally made it look, you know, a little bit of a pass, because I don't know if you guys noticed with the lines right here. It's kind of like how his early 2000s cars were, where it was just the straight lines running all the way from here to the very back of the car, and then as it progressed, you know how he has the end, like that's like towards the end, like this car right here, you know. But yeah, I think the scheme looks good. There's like the shot of it and the actual thing. Dang, that is just crazy. That looks so good. I'm excited for him to see that. Like I said, I'm gonna try to stream the race. If anything, I would love to go to the race, but I mean, given my work circumstances, I don't know if I'll be able to attend. But hey, the fact that I'm gonna try to at least stream this and give my own feedback on it. I'm excited. This car looks really, really good. It's good to see that the number and him back together. And they're gonna. Hopefully he can run. You know, like you said, 3 to 5 races next year, and hopefully that Bud is still on board. You know, that way it gives more of a chance for people to go see him. You know, because I personally want to go see him. I've only seen him race a couple times in my lifetime. The last time I saw him race was, I believe, when he was still doing good with Hendrick Motorsports. I went to the Vegas race because that's when they still only had one race there, and that's when he was still running. That's when he had the nationwide car. But yeah, I would love, like, if whatever he announces next year, I will try to make an effort to go see that race, because yeah, this car is beautiful, man. Like, when I saw the news, I was like, no way, Because what caught my eye was like I said, the stripes, and then I was just like, wait, what? But no, this car looks good. There's the die cast. I'm gonna try to get a die cast because yeah, that's just clean, man. But yeah, Junior announces that he is gonna be running the 8 again, and that's just, I think that's just cool. I'm personally am excited and happy for him to do that. Like I said earlier, it's like kind of full circle, and I like that he just mentioned he's gonna have Tony Geary come onto the podcast. I think they actually released that podcast today because this was yesterday and now it's today. So, but no, yeah, that's. I'm excited. I'm excited to see him run this car. And honestly, that's another thing I wanted to say too about Junior is like, excuse me, I love how he's like now retired, but he still races, you know, and he likes racing these grassroots stuff. And I mean, I think that's what a lot of the drivers do nowadays. Like I know Kevin Harvick has been running a lot of Cars Tours races. I know Kyle Busch has ran a couple late model stock cars, from what I believe. I know when the Cup Series was going to North Wilkesboro, I know when they had the Cars Tour there, a lot of the Cup drivers ran a couple races there too. And I think that's cool, you know. I like how Junior is trying to bring more attention to that, because me personally, and I'm going to give my take on what's going on with this Cup season and all that stuff, because yeah, there's just a lot of things that I'm just like kind of mind blown. And I know I haven't posted anything since, I think the last thing I posted was the Vegas race, I believe was the last thing I posted on this channel. So yeah, I'm gonna try to give my own little recap on the season so far, all the little news is that popped up here and there. But yeah, this is probably the best news I've heard, and that's why I wanted to make a video, because it's like, yeah, you know, like I said before, the number in him is just so iconic, and the fact that he's gonna be running that number again is just freaking cool. I'm excited to see what happens, but enough out of me, because now I don't want this video to be any longer. So like I said, please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.